Good morning, everyone. Welcome to online learning platform of Department of Civil Engineering, BMS Institute of Technology and Management. So, in today's lecture video, we will be discussing how to determine CD for Venturi meter and orifice meter. So, this experiment is part of 18 CVL 48 Fluid Mechanics and Hydraulics Machineries Laboratory prescribed by VTU for 4th semester. So, we will quickly glance through what Venturi meter and orifice meter is. So venturimeter and orifice meter are commonly used flow meters which can be used to measure the volumetric flow rate or nothing but the velocity of the flowing fluid. So it can be water or it can be a liquid or it can be air. So fluid is nothing but liquid or air. So these flow meters are also known as variable head meters. So there is some typical difference between venturimeter and orifice meter. So a venturimeter has a converging conical inlet, a cylindrical throat, and a diverging recovery cone. And it has no projections into the fluid, no sharp corners, and no sudden changes in the contour. Whereas an orifice meter is a cylindrical tube that contains a plate with a thin hole. So a venturimeter has a conical inlet. There is a sudden change in the diameter. But orifice meter is nothing but a cylindrical tube that contains a plate with a thin hole. So the thin hole essentially allow the fluid to flow faster into the hole in order to maintain the flow rate. So we'll quickly see the diagram. So here, yeah. So this is nothing but the inlet. You have the throat here. So you have a short converging part, a throat, and then the diverging part. So the losses that will be occurring in this is also been discussed in the major losses and minor losses. Now coming to orifice meter, you have vena contractor here. So it's a cylindrical tube and there is a small hole here, which is nothing but the orifice. So the location of the orifice will be at a diameter of 2D from the first measurement point. So you have a manometer connected here and a manometer connected here. So it's nothing but a differential manometer. So the orifice is located at 2D distance, where D is nothing but the diameter of the cylindrical tube, and the exit, or sorry, the exit manometer is at D by 2. So the practical application of venturimeter and orifice meter. So a venturimeter is used in a wide variety of applications that includes gas, liquid, slurries, suspended oils, and other process where permanent pressure loss is not tolerable. Like when you have a large diameter pipe which is found waste treatment process. So there venturimeter is being used. So this mainly finds application wherein permanent pressure loss is not acceptable. An orifice meter is usually used to measure the flow rate of fluid in single state. That is, it can be either in gaseous state or in liquid state. Also, it can be used to measure flow rate in for mixed state. That is nothing but wet steam or natural gas with water. So with this, we will end the concept for venturimeter and orifice meter. You can keep watching.
Welcome one and all to the online learning platform of Department of Civil Engineering, BMS Institute of Technology and Management, Bangalore. I am Dr. Rajesh Gopinath and I am along with Mr. Vinod BR and we are in the Fluid Mechanics Lab. In this presentation, we shall be explaining to you with respect to the experimental setup for determination of coefficient of discharge of venturi meter and orifice meter. Okay, so let me now first show you what a venturi meter is. Basically, it's a device which helps in measuring the rate of flow of fluid through a pipe, that is a conduit, and this basically works on a Bernoulli's equation. As you can see in the image, it has three sections: convergent, throat, and a divergent section. Alright, now let us move on to an orifice meter. As you can see, orifice meter, this also serves a similar purpose just like venturi meter, that is to measure the discharge or rate of flow of a fluid through a pipe. Now, when compared to the Venturi meter, orifice meter is relatively more economical. Yes, it also works on the same principle just like a Venturi meter. The only difference is a orifice meter will contain a flat circular plate which has a circular hole in concentric with the pipe. This is actually called as the orifice. With this basic understanding of what a Venturi meter is, an orifice meter is, and what its purpose is, now I shall explain to you the experimental setup with respect to determining the coefficient of discharge, that is CD, for both the experiments. Alright. Also, before this session you have already understood in the other videos the application, significance and the total theoretical concepts about this experiment. Now, let us start with the different parts of this experimental setup. The first thing is the sink or the sump which holds the water which is required for this experiment. If you closely observe the video or the image on the screen, the sump also contains a pipe which is connected with a strainer. Okay, this pipe will definitely be leading via the centrifugal pump. Okay, now you are also seeing the pump and motor arrangement which is meant to remove the water or transport the water for the required conduction. Now above the motor and pump you can see the regulatory valve, okay, which is used by us for understanding the flow characteristics with respect to varying flow rate. Above this you can also see the rotameter. So as you also know, rotameter gives us or helps us in measuring the flow of water. It's a different matter that in this experiment we will not be considering its readings. Now you can see on the left hand side a manometer, the YouTube manometer. So obviously it has mercury inside it, it's a mercury manometer. So we will be using this to determine the pressure difference at the varying points for an orifice meter or a Venturi meter. Now you can also see a collecting tank, okay, which is placed above the sump. Alright, and now next to it you can also see the piezometer, which is to determine the rise in water level. Alright, okay, now let us move on to the other parts of the experiment. So already I have explained to you what is the orifice meter. Just to reiterate, you can see this is the convergent section, this is the throat, and this is the divergent section. So my dear friends, I hope that you have understood the experimental setup with respect to orifice meter and the Venturi meter. So in the next presentation, in the next video, I'll be explaining to you the walkthrough of how to conduct the experiment. Thank you. Welcome back to the online learning platform at Department of Civil Engineering. We are in the Fluid Mechanics Lab and Dr. Rajesh Gopinath and Mr. Vinod Bihar is along with me. In the previous video, we had explained to you the experimental setup for determination of coefficient of discharge for a Venturi meter and orifice meter. In this video, we will explain to you the walkthrough. That is, when we switch on the instrument, due to the noise generated, you will not be able to hear our instructions. So in this video, without actually switching on the instrument, we will tell you how to conduct the experiment. Definitely one more video follows wherein the actual conduction is also in place. So step number 1, you need to make sure that there is sufficient water in the sump. Please remember, the water should be clean, it should not contain any suspended or floating matter. Okay. Now the next thing is, we have to make sure that the pump what we are using, the centrifugal pump, must have been primed. Alright. Now with these two safety measures in place or precautionary measures in place, what is that we need to do first? First we need to switch on the instrument. So please look at my finger, this black button, okay, this knob, this switch, you need to press it. Once you switch this on, then the instrument is switched on. When you do this, water from the sump will be pumped via the black pipe okay, with the aid of this pump and motor system, and this water will be rising through the rotameter. From the rotameter it goes into this pipe, okay. From this pipe it is going to enter the Venturi meter. Please remember, in this Venturi meter you can see the connections for manometer, one at the convergent section and one at the throat. So we are actually measuring the pressure difference. So if you follow these pipes, okay, you can see that it comes to the manometer, okay. So when the instrument is switched on, you will find the mercury level rising or falling, and we need to subsequently take readings. So how do we do it? What we need to do is, when the instrument is running, we need to regulate the flow. That is, with the help of this regulatory valve, either in an ascending manner or in a descending manner, you need to start off the instrument. Okay, say that you have switched on the instrument, and for this one given turn, which could be some specific flow rate, we are not going to measure it. Alright, we are not going to measure it, though we have a provision. So for one given turn, what will happen? Water will be entering the Venturi meter at certain speed or velocity. Okay, so when this is happening, when water is entering via this pipe into the Venturi meter, okay, due to the convergent throat and divergent sections, there is a change in velocity, there is change in pressure. We need to measure that readings. So we have to come to the manometer, and we should take two readings, H1 and H2. When you enter the value in your record, you might end up entering H1 plus H2 or H1 minus H2 or H2 minus H1, depends on the scenario. Okay, so this is the first reading you will be taking. What is the next reading you will be taking for this given flow rate? You have to come to the collecting tank. In this collecting tank, okay, water is falling into this tank after passing through the Venturi meter. So what you do is, you close the knob with this valve. You close the opening. Okay, when you close the opening, any water which enters the tank will rise. So then we need to take a stopwatch. Alright, and then we need to measure the rise in flow of water in this piezometer. How can we do it? Two ways: constant head, variable time, or constant time, variable head. For instance, we have to have a stopwatch and measure how much time it takes for the water to rise for 10 centimeters, or how much centimeters will the water rise for 10 seconds. So you can do either constant head or constant time. Please remember, this entire exercise has to be completed for various flow rates. That means after taking these readings, I have to again come back and I need to increase the flow rate, and I need to, for this one more turn, again I have to take the readings of manometer and the piezometer. So more number of turns, more number of readings will help us in reducing the instrumental or manual error. Okay, this entire exercise has to be repeated for orifice meter also, which means when the instrument is switched on, the water will be passing through the pipe and entering your orifice meter. Okay, so now same logic, same objective. You got again two pipelines which is connected in the orifice meter, and this comes to your manometer, wherein again you will be taking the reading. Okay, again you will take H1 plus H2 or H1 minus H2 or H2 minus H1, depending on the level of mercury. So same thing, apart from taking this readings, you also must take the reading of the collecting tank. Again in orifice meter, for various flow rates, you must repeat the entire exercise. That is, readings in manometer, readings in piezometer. Please remember one thing: more number of readings with respect to flow rates, with respect to rising head or variable time, will help you to get better readings and better understanding of this experiment. Alright, so with this I have explained to you the walkthrough with respect to determining coefficient of discharge of a orifice meter and a venturi meter. This is Rajesh and Vinod signing off. Thank you. Welcome one and all. This is Dr. Rajesh Gopinath and Mr. Vinod BR. We are in the Fluid Mechanics lab and you are with us in the online learning platform of Department of Civil Engineering, BMS Institute of Technology and Management. We are looking at the experimental setup with respect to determination of coefficient of discharge of orifice meter and venturi meter. As a quick recap, what is that you have learned so far? You had various presentations and videos wherein you have understood the introduction to the experiment, significance of the experiment, you have understood the experimental setup of this experiment, you also have seen the walkthrough with respect to this experiment, and also another video has been uploaded in our channel wherein you will understand the calculations, tabulations and inference. So in this video we shall show you the actual experimental conduction. Please note, once the instrument is switched on, you will not be able to hear our instructions, so you can follow our hand movement. Please remember, in this one single video, we are trying to explain to you how to carry out the experiment for both venturi meter and orifice meter. Please remember, you need to carry out them separately. That is, once you complete the experiment on venturi meter, then you need to do once again separately for orifice meter. All the steps, procedure remains same. There is no change. Okay, with this understanding, let us start the experiment. So my dear friends, I'm going to switch on the instrument and then you need to follow the movement of the hand.
Good morning, students. All of you had seen the presentation of how the experiment is conducted to determine the coefficient of discharge of the venturi meter and the orifice meter. you would have seen the experimental setup and seen how the readings need to be taken. In this video, you will be seeing how the tabulation and calculation are required for the calibration of the venturi meter and orifice meter is done. So, coming to the venturi meter and orifice meter calibration observations, area of the tank need to be collected, the rise of water in the measuring tank, which is usually taken as 10 centimeters, recorded as 0.1 meter. You need to measure the inlet pipe diameter and the throat diameter for the venturi meter, and the areas of the inlet and throat need to be calculated. Whereas in the orifice meter also, you need to calculate the diameter of the inlet, diameter of the orifice, area of inlet and area of orifice. The formulae required to calculate the values for CD of the venturi meter and orifice meter are actual discharge, A into H by T, where A is the area of the collecting tank, H is the rise of water in the collecting tank, T is the time required for rise of water. The theoretical discharge formulae for venturi meter, A1, A2 into root of 2GH divided by square root of A1 square minus A2 square, where A1 and A2 are the area of inlet and throat respectively. Similarly, for the orifice, the formula is the same, but area of inlet and area at the orifice, A1 and A0. Coefficient of discharge is given by Q actual by Q theoretical. You will see the tabulation. One set of readings for venturi meter and one set for orifice meter is being done. Manometer reading has to be taken to measure the difference of head at the inlet and at the throat, and the differential head in terms of water has to be calculated. For a particular discharge, the time taken for 10 centimeter rise in the collecting tank need to be calculated. So the calculations for these readings can be used to compute the Q actual, Q theoretical, and to draw the graph to determine the slope of the line, you can calculate the log H and log Q. The calculations for the above tabulations are shown here. For the venturi meter, the Q actual obtained is 7.06 into 10 raised to minus 4, and Q theoretical is 7.46 into 10 raised to minus 4, and the CD value is of the range 0.946. In the orifice meter, for the given tabulations, the Q actual works out as 5.7 into 10 raised to minus 4. Q theoretical works out as 8.75 into 10 raised to minus 4. CD is 0.65. For both the venturi meter and the orifice meter, by varying the discharges, different trial readings can be obtained, and you can calculate the average CD in both venturi meter and orifice meter and record it. A graph is usually plotted with log H to log Q, and the slope of the graph will give the value of N, which has to be in the range of 0.5, and sample graph is shown here how the plotting is to be done. Thank you.